we are now heading towards the dawn of Clash of the Champions, a pay-per-view that is completely useless in terms of its name. Yeah, I'm wondering why they keep calling it this. Like, they keep saying it's for the brand to defend all their titles, but they were going to do that anyways. They did it a few pay-per-views ago before Survivor Series. So there's nothing really special, especially since all the other matches are standard matches and there's only 3 titles. The US title, 4 titles. All 4 titles are being defended, but they were going to do that anyways at other pay-per-views, so why not just call it something else? I was wondering that. You want to know why this was called Clash of Champions last time? It wasn't because defending the titles was the plan. No. The original plan for Clash of Champions was to be a co-branded pay-per-view where it would feature all the champions fighting off one another. You know, something that Survivor Series did a year later, this year. Yeah, that was the original reason why it was called Clash of Champions. Why not have this pay-per-view be called Bad Blood? Because this whole storylines right now are filled with bad blood going on. Except for one. I'll get to that in a moment. So, let's get to the kickoff show that was announced. Zack Ryder versus Mojo Rawley. Example number 1 of the term it should have been called Bad Blood. The Hype Pros, after losing repeatedly over and over and over, and it looked like they were going to turn heel together, but they never did so, yeah, they were going to go somewhere with that, but they just stopped. And in fact, everyone assumed Zack Ryder was going to turn heel, but no, they decided to say, you know what, Mojo Rawley, you're going to be the guy that turns heel. And like, no one liked his personality, and everyone loved Zack Ryder's personality, so yeah, but really, Zack Ryder's in need of a reinvention, and Mojo Rawley, he has plenty of time to do something later. So, yeah, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, after they lost to the Bludgeon Brothers for the second time, which is really Harper and Rowan, and I'll get to that thing in a moment. Mojo Rawley attacked Zack Ryder in a fit of frustration and rage, and the fans were loving every moment of it because they were like, yay, Mojo Rawley's turning heel! Which leads to the one question once more. If they can turn Mojo Rawley heel, if they can turn the Usos heel, why can't they turn Reigns heel? Well, for the simple fact that they're nothing Vince McMahon wants in a guy. Sure, the Usos are related to The Rock, but they don't have the look of The Rock, or at least in Vince's eyes, they don't have The Rock's look. So, yeah, that's the only reason they have. Okay, so, moving on. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley are set to go at it on the kickoff show. They did not have any interactions afterwards. They just mostly interacted on Twitter about their career trajectories and where things went for each other, like how Zack Ryder was basically lifting Mojo Rawley up because he was successful and Mojo Rawley wasn't, and he had help from a football player at WrestleMania, which I still call bullshit. Should have went to Braun Strowman. At least it would have meant something when he got this big push he got throughout the year. So, yeah. Anyways, there was virtually very little build up to this. There really wasn't nothing. In fact, you know what Mojo Rawley should have done on Twitter, or at least on TV? He should have gone ahead and addressed the whole belief of how Cena, Vince kind of conspired to kind of kill Zack Ryder's momentum. Because Zack Ryder, I think he said in a podcast with Jericho a few years back that was the only reason they paired him up with Cena during the whole Embrace the Hate storyline, was to kill his momentum, because fuck having multiple stars at once and having a replacement in case someone got hurt. Fuck that logic. We gotta make it all about Cena and part-timers. Though we don't do that till months later. But anyways, it's all about the part-timers and John Cena. He's God. There is no one who can replace him. We don't have any backup plans in case he gets injured. He got injured. Panic mode! Oh God, what did we do? That was wrong. I mean, like, we screwed all the talent, fed them all to Cena, and treated them like crap. Gee, I wonder what they did wrong. So, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley, yeah, this team broke up now. Yeah, I don't honestly care about this storyline. Mostly because I was never interested in the team whatsoever. I wasn't really much of a fan of Mojo Rawley in NXT. In fact, everyone kind of called him the big black eye on it. And then when he left, everyone, they was like, well, nothing's going to be missed. And Zack Ryder, he was originally going to do, a few years back, he was going to turn heel, join up with The Miz and Ziggler with this whole discontent storyline. Then they stopped that dead in its tracks when it was starting to get interesting for fans. Yeah, fuck us, right? So, yeah. Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley's going to most likely win because that would be messed up if he lost in his first run as a heel. So, yeah, no incentive to really give a care about this matchup. But, like I said, this pay-per-view should have been called Bad Blood from this one, and there's multiple other concepts as to why I would say this. Next, we get to Breezango and the Bludgeon Brothers, which isn't a Bad Blood feud because there's no storyline whatsoever, kind of. Okay, for months, Breezango have done these Fashion File segments. They're the highlight of SmackDown, and when SmackDown was in this rut after Ryan Ward was kicked off the lead writing team because he was doing too good of a job because, you know, we can't have quality entertainment. We fans are entitled to that when we pay money to see the show. At least in Vince's eyes, so fuck us, right? And fuck the talent for getting the chance to express themselves. Now, Breezango in the Fashion Files was building up a storyline towards a threat that was coming to the tag team division. People had speculated what it was. Reports were saying it was going to be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, which wouldn't really have been much of a twist. It would have been the Authors of Pain. That was a consideration as well when it looked like they were going to leave after they had no longer had the tag team titles after what happened at NXT. NXT Tip Brooklyn 3. So that was two scenarios they were thinking of, but then they decided to delay the Authors of Pain's move to the main roster so they could do the War Games feud, which was awesome. And then we got the Bludgeon Brothers. And okay, the Bludgeon Brothers, when I saw this entire vignettes they were doing to build them up like they were new stars, which we know for a fact isn't, they were so tied up with 80s stuff. Like, even the props looked fake. Like, it didn't even look real to me. They were so fake, I could have sworn this was supposed to be for the 80s, right? Like, when everything was a comic book, so you could get away with cheap props. The fact that the 90 props were more realistic than this is sad. Yeah, so when they made their debut, I was like, okay, I know how this scenario is going to go. They're going to look cool, they're going to beat the hell out of everybody, and then afterwards they're not going to do anything with them afterwards. So, pardon me if I'm pessimistic about this. Also, remember how I just called them Harper and Rowan? Yeah, that's official. WWE removed Luke Harper and Eric Rowan because Vince, in his dumbass mind, thinks that because shortening their names will make them intimidating. Seriously, just admit you're just being a pessimist. You're being a child. PC politically correct thinking children would be complexed by long names. By a first and last name. Well, it's only a matter of time till and I know people will say, don't give them ideas. Let's be honest, they're going to probably scrap out the word Shinsuke, just keep Nakamura. They're going to probably kill off the word Kevin Owens and just call him Owens and Zayn. And they're going to probably kill off the word Randy because some people might take that offensive and just call him Orton because it's the era of short names. We need to bastardize every idea we come up with. And that is the least stupidest thing that came to mind for Vince in the month of November to December. And oh god, I have so much to say, and I was waiting to find the right time to talk about this idea. It relates to the SmackDown Women's Championship, by the way. And once I tell you this, you're gonna try and be in denial about this, that there's no way Vince thought this was an actual plan. I recommend you look on the internet. Provided net neutrality hasn't been destroyed by the evil FCC of idiots. Mostly the chairman. So anyways, enough about that. By the way, go save net neutrality. Just go to Fight for the Future. Break the internet, man. So, Yeah, and then the Ascension got involved and were trying to convince Breezango that the Bludgeon Brothers are the threat. Oh, they fucking whooped. Like, that was never the plan. So, yeah, the Bludgeon Brothers are now going to fight Breezango, and we don't give two shits. Like, we know the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win. Like, Breezango, they're just a comedy duo. Granted, they're an awesome comedy duo. And while I will admit their match with the Usos was funny and entertaining, you know, actual effort being put in, I don't think the Breezango team is going to somehow win against the Bludgeon Brothers, who are being portrayed as destructive entities. And they have acknowledged that they are from the Wyatt family, so they clearly know we are not that dumb in Vince's eyes to say, oh, these had completely different characters, so why not just call it Harper and Rowan? I know you're trying to cut off the whole Wyatt family connection, but Harper and Rowan were in the Wyatt family. They were the original members, so why not just call them anything else that doesn't sound so 80s-like? Heck, why don't you make a name that references the Wyatt family's origins, where the story, the lore of the Wyatt family was born from? Where it was always shown in a swamp. Like, I'm not calling them the Swamp Brothers because that sounds even more stupid. Like, you could call them the Woodland Brothers because they basically lived in the woods for in their lore and their history of their characters' lives. Like, it would be referencing the Wyatt family, yet trying to be something different. So, yeah. Okay, now let's get to the Usos versus the New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus Rusev and Aiden English, who were at it basically the week before the final SmackDown Live. Okay, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, they were building up to something with the Usos. In fact, it's starting to look like Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable might be turning heel soon, which I would be alright with. And the New Day was going to look like they were going to build up a feud with Rusev and Aiden English, so we would get two separate tag team matches, but they decided to combine these two feuds into one tag team war zone. And of course, even though it's called a Fatal 4-Way match, we're only going to get the stupid rule of, oh, it's just two people in the ring and the other guys will tag each other in. I do not see anything wrong with that rule. Well, other than that creative moment the New Day did in the last multi-tag team match where they won the titles in, where they tagged themselves in to the point that they could do a pinfall on each other to win the match, which the commentators admit is a part of the rules. So no one sees the problem here. No one sees the problem with the system that Fatal 4-Way is really 2 guys and 4 teams. Like, seriously, they pointed out this one gaping plot hole on pay-per-view 2 years back, and no one called them out on this. So I'm taking a stand. Stop fake Fatal 4-Way tag team match. You knew what Fatal 4-Way tag team matches were, WWE. You did it back in the 90s. You did it in the 2000s. Why did you not go with that format? Because it would have been too entertaining for people? So we gotta do this way? That makes no sense. Heck, I even criticized the 6-pack challenge idea they did back in 1999. Like, the match was awesome, I'll give them that, but the point where they keep having to tag each other in, even though clearly that makes no sense, even I criticized that, and that's the Attitude Era. And I'll admit, there were some things that were confusing in the Attitude Era, especially Mae Young giving birth to a hand. That was the dumbest idea they've ever come up with. Well, not anymore. There was a bigger, dumber idea. I'll get to that soon. So, yeah, moving on. So, yeah, Rusev and English. Here's the shocking part. I want Rusev and English to win. I seriously want them to. Oh, mostly because of Rusev. I don't really give two shits about Aiden English. In fact, considering the logic we have to go by, considering Rusev partnered with Jinder Mahal, and look where Jinder Mahal is at right now, being in the main event scene and was a 6-month WWE champion, by that logic, Aiden English should be in line for a push. all they had to do was exploit Rusev. That's apparently the new system now. And they won't push Rusev because, I don't know, fuck him. So, yeah, I kind of just want Rusev to win, specifically because he kind of earned, he's paid his dues. He's been screwed by people, by the WWE management, by John Cena twice, and Vince McMahon and Dunn's triumvirate movement with using Roman Reigns as their puppet to kill what little momentum he had. So, yeah, I just want Rusev to win the match. It sounds more like I'm just wanting it out of pity, but come on, the guy has been entertaining, he's funny, he's awesome, he can be badass, he can be hilarious. Why can't they just commit with Rusev? Like, turn him face, for goodness sakes. Everything about his character for the past several months has made him an honorable guy. Like, he says he wants to bring pride to his family when he was fighting with Orton. He felt disgraced when he was humiliated by Orton. And he said he didn't whine about losing to Cena on Twitter. He just says, I fought to the end. Like, he's admitting, yeah, I lost, but at least I fought to the end. So why not turn the guy face? Because he's foreign? Therefore, foreigners are evil people? Unless they're from the UK? And Canada? We can't really say Canada anymore because they mostly turned everybody heel who's Canadian, or well-known Canadian wrestlers. Like Mahal, Owens, and Zayn. And Natalya. So yeah, we can't use Canada as an excuse anymore. So yeah, yeah, just turn Rusev face, give him the tag team championships with Aiden English. I would love to see that reign go for as long as it can. I just would really love to see it. And considering they beat the Usos clean without any excuses, that makes me realize that they're not probably going to do it. But at the same time, just please do it. You broke conventions before. Just let Rusev win win the titles. I wanted him to be fighting Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Granted, the match probably would have sucked, considering the entire feud sucked. But at least they would have said, okay, Rusev, we're treating you seriously now. Oh, God. So, yeah, I'm most likely going to see the Usos retain because they just had an awesome Hell in a Cell match, and I'm pretty sure they're going to commit to doing a double turn with Benjamin and Chad Gable and the Usos to complete the transition. And the New Day's going to move on with Aiden English and Rusev, and we'll be back to that. Now let's get to a match that, just because of one little aspect in this whole thing regarding the Women's Championship of SmackDown, that I believe people should hear more. Okay, so before I get into it, Charlotte Flair is going to fight Natalya in a lumberjack match. Well, they're calling it lumberjill because God knows women can't be lumberjacks for some reason. And it's going to feature the entire women's division with the exception of Becky Lynch, who is currently doing a movie with The Miz. And virtually everybody else. So, yeah, it's going to be for the Women's Championship. Yeah, this feud also has styles of going bad blood, since they keep referencing the Hart family and the Flair family. So does the Usos, New Day, Benjamin, Chad Gable, and Rusev and Aiden English. They all have feuds with each other beforehand, so really this whole pay-per-view still could have been called Bad Blood. But moving on. Charlotte Flair versus Natalya. Now, a few weeks ago, James Ellsworth was released from his contract. And I'll get to Ruby Riot's team in a moment, but okay, I need to build this up a little bit more. Okay, so Ruby Riot and her group are called the Riot Squad with an extra T. Yeah, they changed the name. Like, with an extra T. Okay, I can only guess they did that because if they said the word riot, it would scare people for some reason because of what goes on in the world, especially what happened a few months ago in Charlottesville, which no one was. But if that's the case, they might as well just change Charlotte's name because that would remind people of Charlottesville. I wouldn't be surprised if they made that excuse. And considering what regarding James Ellsworth I'll get into, oh god. Yeah, but ultimately, Charlotte Flair, she's going to retain. I guarantee it. But it'd be a little surprising if Natalya won. But the fact that the Riot Squad, oh dear God, that's the name, is in the Lumberjill match and not in an actual match, but they're just Lumberjacks, Lumberjill, whatever, kind of deflates their momentum a bit. And by a bit, I mean a lot. Let's see how Absolution, as the team is called in Raw, is doing. Well, let's see. They're taking on Asuka. They have the entire women's division coming after them. And, like I said, they're targeting Asuka. Yeah. Also, they beat the holy crap out of everybody. So, they were doing that with the Riot Squad, and then they just put them in the Lumberjack match instead of doing a 6-woman tag team match, because that would have made more sense. Man. Oh, and by the way, Nia Jax is going to do a relationship storyline with Enzo Amore, but God, that was a fucking stupid idea. She should just quit now. Like, she walked out a month or so ago. She should just walk out now. It's done. So anyways, Charlotte Flair is going to most likely retain. Natalya's going to lose. And then they're going to start rebuilding up the Riot Squad, most likely. And, yeah, that's it. And the reason why I know Charlotte Flair's going to retain is because they want her to be in the match at WrestleMania. Now, okay, now time to get into what I believe was the stupidest idea Vince ever conceived. And I can only imagine he came up with this being high off his ass, drunk off his ass, and maybe he was dropped on his head multiple times, along with his senile state of mental decay. Okay, everyone knows James Ellsworth was released. Congrats to him. But now when a report came out what WWE wanted to do with James Ellsworth before he got released. Okay. I don't know how to word this correctly, and I might go political for a moment during this, so... And I'm going to be very fucking pissed, because this idea alone is just stupid, and considering how WWE operates, it would not have worked at all. Okay. They want to have James Ellsworth be competing for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. They were going to go ahead, have James Ellsworth declare himself to be a woman, make him a transsexual, to get an excuse to fight Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Okay. First off, I'm going to say this before anyone makes any comments ranting about what I just said. I do not hate transsexual people. If they want to choose, they have a right. If they want to be who they are, they have the right. In my mind, in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinions, but that's, and considering, but here's the thing. There's a reason why I say this would be the dumbest idea they ever came up with. Because the way they portray James Ellsworth as this freak of nature, because of the way he looks, JBL has done it, Corey Graves has done it for months. They look at James, and even the talented, even the wrestlers, call him a freak on TV. I know they're scripted, but nonetheless, that's the characters doing it. They've called him a freak, a no-chin freak, and could you really picture Vince portraying a transsexual correctly in this day and age? Could you really? And considering Vince is friends with somebody who recently made controversy a few months ago, where he's trying to get transsexuals banned from enlisting, and I really don't want to get into that, but I have to reference that. What's stopping Vince from doing something stupid with this idea? Like, shows have probably done transsexual storylines. I get that, but here's the thing. Vince would not have put an effort into it. He doesn't care. Like, remember Billy and Chuck? Okay, They got advice from LGBT groups that were asking for advice. Okay, how do we portray an LGBT person correctly and not be insulting about it? Okay, so far so good. But when the day came that they were going to do a marriage angle with Billy and Chuck, they told the organization that were giving them advice on how to do the storyline correctly with their characters, they told them that they were going to get married on television and be an on-screen couple legitimately. WWE lied to them, and this was in 2002. So, and here's the thing. Brock Lesnar, you remember Brock Lesnar? And people are probably wondering, what does he have to do with this? Here's the thing. They wanted to make Brock Lesnar everything that he is right now, but with LGBT elements without the stereotypes. Okay? And here's the thing. This writer came up with this idea. Stephanie McMahon thought it was a good idea, not because there was potential good ideas out of it. No. She said, hey, that could actually be good for our reputation. It would be a good PR stunt for the progressive community. That would get on our good graces. They didn't see potential with that. They just saw goodness out. They just thought, see, we're good people here. And it doesn't make any sense to me because Lesnar... Okay, I don't know how to get into, I don't know how to describe this. Okay, they said, according to the article when I was reading this storyline that was proposed months ago, that was made back in 2002 when Lesnar first debuted, it doesn't make sense because they said that he would be LGBT in character, but wouldn't really show it. He would just be a beast that kicks everyone's ass. So really, there's nothing really different about him. He's just a beast that kicks people's ass. He's not really LGBT. They're just going to say he's LGBT because good PR move. So, really, could you really imagine Vincent Kennedy McMahon making a legitimately good storyline of a transsexual person? And the fact that that was going to be their excuse for him to fight Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania of all places shows how I'm convinced James Ellsworth asked for his relief when they told him, "Hey, can we do this idea?" And James Ellsworth was like, "Yeah, I think I've spent my time here enough. I'm just gonna leave." And like, I was thinking to myself, "No, wait, this is not true." And then I realized there were kind of some signs along the way. Like him winning Women's Money in the Bank for Carmella. And everyone was pissed off by that. And the fact that James Ellsworth had a sexist mentality where he didn't believe a girl could beat up a man and then got proven wrong. And he probably could. And then he probably had switched genders because of that reason. Oh, God. Okay. So, what's next? Are we going to have wrestlers dress up as clowns and go ahead and fight Brock Lesnar as a clown? Have Roman Reigns jump the shark and beat Brock Lesnar with one spear after 2,000 F5s and 16 Kimura locks? In fact, let's do this. Let's give John Cena all the titles in WWE, huh? Like, we don't clearly care. We're pretty fucking lazy with this. We don't give two shits about what these fans think. We don't give two shits about what anyone else thinks. We're more like catering to corporations and whatnot and trying to look like we're good people, but really we're just exploiting them. Like, how about we go ahead and have Roman Reigns jump the shark and dress up as a clown and beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title? Well, let's do that. This show can do anything I want it to be because I'm the fucking owner. Okay, I've had enough talking about this part. I'm just going to move on. Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Okay, the tag team match, the SmackDown tag team match, and the US Championship match, there's no build-up for them. Mostly because they were just announced on WWE.com. They were just announced. At least the SmackDown tag team match has a reason to exist. This triple threat match does not have a reason to exist. Mostly because Bobby Roode and Ziggler's feud was over. They didn't address it afterwards. They never continued it after Survivor Series. They just popped it out of nowhere. And if WWE goes with the excuse that, oh, well, Bobby Roode got struck by Baron Corbin in the Lumberjack match during the New Day, Sami Zayn, and Owens match, that clearly gives a legitimate reason. No, it doesn't. Like, anyone could make an accidental shot and overreact. That doesn't create a story. So, yeah, they tried to do something, and Dolph Ziggler looked like Shawn Michaels, so really, they're... And here's the thing. They went from this Ziggler going this gimmick of not having a gimmick and just insulting everybody who did have a gimmick, much to people pissing off when they did Warrior and in front of his wife, no less, and The Undertaker. That really pissed people off. Everyone else, everyone didn't care, but when they did The Undertaker and The Ultimate Warrior, especially in front of Warrior's wife, that's when people got pissed. And now Ziggler suddenly has his theme music again. It does not acknowledge the no gimmick stuff, the insult gimmick he was doing. So basically, he has nothing to do. He has no gimmick. And he has admitted that he's been contemplating leaving WWE. He's been expressing his frustrations again. Just leave. Just leave. They clearly don't care about you. They're not going to give you... They don't even give you a character anymore. So, yeah, there's no point now. And here's the thing. The only reason I'm guessing why he was put in this match was so he can eat the pin. What, they're going to give Bobby Roode the loss already in a title match like this? No, they're clearly going to keep him safe. I'd be surprised if they make Bobby Roode take the fall. In fact, why didn't they just... Why not make this a Fatal 4-Way match and add Ty Dillinger? He hasn't done anything for weeks. Other than dress up as 11. Yeah, that actually happened on the Fashion Files. And WWE had reportedly considered turning Rusev good guy and Ty Dillinger a bad guy. And they never did it. So anyways, Bobby Roode, I would want to see him win the U.S. Championship. But Baron Corbin just got his reign started, and plus he was screwed over because he dared speak out against the medical department because he didn't trust them a bit, especially considering how CM Punk's podcast might have had a role in this. So, yeah. Like, Baron Corbin made an opinion like, I don't think that's how it works and whatnot. But no, the doctor is offended. So we gotta punish Baron Corbin and make him look like a complete idiot because he was having questions. So, yeah, that's what I heard. I could be wrong. So, I would like to see Bobby Roode win the title, but I would like to see Baron Corbin keep it to further develop himself and have the stakes be much higher for him to further develop his performance skills. Oh, and if anyone's wondering about Jim Johnson, why I haven't not talked about him, oh, I will soon. I definitely shall. Oh, boy. I'm just waiting for some more reports to come out to see any confirmation of our fears. So, yeah. So, really, this triple threat match has virtually no right to exist. Like, you could make the argument that Ziggler and Roode could continue the feud, but they never did until, like, last week. And even then, they don't reference what happened between them a month ago, so they don't care. So, yeah. Now let's get to AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. After Styles lost to to Brock Lesnar, Jinder Mahal wanted to revenge and believed Styles had dishonored SmackDown by losing. And all that bullshit. And like, at least he got a better match out of Brock Lesnar than you probably would have done. Hell, Lesnar even admitted it was even reported Lesnar wasn't even interested in fighting you, and considering how his match with Braun Strowman went, that's really sad. That really indicates he was not going to put in the effort. Yeah, I've been more critical of Lesnar because if he doesn't like a certain guy he has to work with, he's not going to put in the effort. And if he did put in the effort, he has to do it with multiple guys and then sit out for half of the match. And whenever he had to work with a guy he liked, he mostly dominated. Styles was the first guy since, like, what? The Undertaker, and before that, it was CM Punk, to actually put a back and forth match. So, yeah. Styles is now going to, like, there's still speculation that Styles is probably scheduled to lose the WWE title back to Mahal, since he fulfilled his purpose as, well, he was already WWE. Well, we needed him to save Survivor Series from being a crap fest, which is saying something. So, yeah, we're going to give the belt back to Mahal. You've outlived your usefulness. We're seeing more like Nikki Bella. Well, after she had surpassed AJ Lee's reign because we wanted to get back at Punk for something that Lee might have caused, your usefulness has been fulfilled. Even if you're John Cena's girlfriend, we don't see any value left in you. Other than your total diva status, but really no one cares. So yeah, that was the only reason they let Nikki Bella get the title, because they know everyone hates the Bella Twins, and they know Cena had something to do with this. They somewhat acknowledged it on TV before with Paige and that Paige bomb she cut. So yeah. Anyways, Styles managed to get a good match out of Jinder Mahal before his when he won the WWE Championship in the UK, which was said to be a first, actually, which is honestly surprising. I should say that they should be ready for WrestleMania. But Vince is too stubborn to do it, so let's move on. So anyways, it's kind of awesome that Styles managed to get a good match out of Mahal. But let's see if luck can strike twice. And the Singh brothers, okay, when Jinder Mahal beat up the Singh brothers, everyone was hoping, yes, the comic relief is gone. Nope, they're still aligned with him. And they still aligned with him on the house show. Oh, and speaking of that, I gotta get into that. Okay, fans have repeatedly said that whatever happens at the house show doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's not entwined with WWE's, quote, continuity. And even then, there's barely any continuity nowadays. So, unless it's the Shield. So, yeah. AJ Styles acknowledged when the Singh brothers said that they want to leave Jinder Mahal, where they said they were done with him after he beat them up for losing. AJ Styles used the power of logic to show the Singh brothers be at Jinder Mahal's side when he was preparing for his match against Triple H in India. By the way, Triple H pedigree with them after dancing with them. Yeah, Triple H danced with them, and not the DX version. The serious Triple H danced with Mahal and the Singh brothers, and then beat the living life out of the Singh brothers. So, yeah. And had AJ Styles actually accepted the Singh brothers' offer, I was like, nope, you just gave away the ending. You spoiled the ending. And he was trying to take them out. The way he took them out didn't work, because let's be honest, you need to be Brock Lesnar aggressive to take the Singh brothers out, because that's what they did with JJ Security and Kane for a couple of months. JJ Security never showed up on WWE television again as characters. They were just background people. So, yeah. Anyways. So, yeah. AJ Styles, I want him to retain, but I'm practically convinced at this point they're going to give the belt back to Mahal, because, you know, nothing about the market in India is really important. But like I said, when I mentioned that Styles acknowledged Mahal's allegiance, the Singh brothers' allegiance to Mahal during a house show, yeah, now that excuse doesn't exist anymore. They clearly acknowledge that happens, and there is some continuity, and WWE has posted on WWE YouTube's channel that Triple H teamed up with the Shield. Samoa Joe teamed up with the Shield when Roman Reigns was out. So, yeah, and they even acknowledged Roman Reigns and Triple H's feud. They even did Triple H and Roman Reigns shaking hands even after all the hell they've been through. And there was no complete resolve. So, yeah, you can't keep saying that the house shows do not have some form of connection with the main storylines. And let's see, Samoa Joe broke Seth's leg accidentally, I must stress, before someone goes in and says he causes injuries like he did with Tyson Kidd, even though that was also by accident, and surprisingly he didn't die, or was horribly paralyzed of all four limbs. So yeah, moving on. So yeah, that happened, and Oh, God. So, yeah, they can't use the whole... I don't think they can use the whole, house shows aren't part of the main storyline, even though they also did this in the 90s with Undertaker and Steve Austin, when Undertaker struck Austin with a shovel and Austin collapsed during a house show against The Rock. I still remember that. I watched an old episode before that. Okay. So, yeah. AJ Styles, I want to retain the WWE Championship, but realistically, we have to go with Jinder Mahal because Vince is an idiot. So, yeah. Now let's get to what I believe should be the main event, considering that it's been given the most focus, and the fact Jinder Mahal and AJ Styles haven't been given as much focus. Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, with both Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan as special guest referees. Under the condition, if Owens and Zayn lose, they will be fired from all of WWE. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been doing this storyline with Shane McMahon, basically disrespecting his authority and whatnot. Everything was going fine. But then after Survivor Series, like a week after Survivor Series and after SmackDown, that's when things started really getting out of control, like in terms of the consistency and logic. Like, okay, Shane kept saying when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were begging to Bryan not to get them fired, like Shane wanted to on the first SmackDown after Survivor Series, and Shane McMahon was talked out of it by Daniel Bryan, who convinced them, hey, you can punish them. They can just go to Raw if we did that. So, yeah, that's what they did. So that was what decided the whole thing. So, Shane McMahon kept them, but wanted to punish them more. And Bryan was more like trying to compromise and make sure not to get fired, because he does see the talent in Owens and Zayn. And really, Owens and Zayn, they have no reason to be loyal to the brand. They're more concerned for their careers, not the brand. They don't drink the Kool-Aid that everyone did when the brand loyalty storyline happened. Seriously, they're condemned for using logic. That's society in general nowadays. Anyone who uses common sense or compassion, they get horribly shunned by those who wish to destroy that concept. And Shane McMahon says a week after that he is not out on a vendetta against Owens and Sami Zayn. And then at the end of the show, after Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura beat the holy hell out of Owens and Zayn, Shane McMahon says, oh, I'm not done punishing them, not by a long shot. In fact, I'm going to be the special guest referee, and if they lose, they will be fired from all of WWE. Okay, several things wrong with what he just said. One, and Owens and Zayn are now the spiteful ones in the storyline, because that doesn't come across as vindictively spiteful, doesn't it, Shane? So, just admit you have a vendetta against them, and we can do something with logic. Logic, people, logic! In fact, Sami Zayn used logic when Kevin Owens fought Orton in a no DQ match. Sami Zayn was banned from ringside. He never went to ringside. He attacked Orton on the ramp. Logic! And because it's a heel, that might indicate Vince thinks that anyone who thinks smart is apparently the devil. I wouldn't be surprised by that either. Please no, this is the same guy that says, hey, turn James Ellsworth into a woman and let's have him fight Charlotte at WrestleMania for the women's title. Steal this other opportunity from all these other women because we kind of have a sexist mentality and like to insult your intelligence. And also, we might also be out to try and insult the transsexual community. Oh god, Vince McMahon, you're an idiot. So, moving on, before I go into a full-blown rant again on that. Sami Zayn had logic on his side. They condemned him for that. The fans condemned him for that because they're a traditional style crowd of good guys are good, bad guys are bad. Nah, bad guys are good and good guys are kind of bad. So, yeah. And now there's been this seeded dissension between Shane and Bryan, where it looks like Bryan might be turning heel since he doesn't want Owens and Zayn to be fired even after they had degraded him, called him a hypocrite and whatnot. And Owens and Zayn did a yep movement. And considering Bryan had to go into... And Bryan, on the final SmackDown, revealed he would be the special guest referee as well in this match. Byron Saxton went on him over and over, which only proves that he's turning heel. So, yeah. And Bryan called him out on it. Called him out on his logic. Called him out on his hypocrisy. And basically called him out in general for what goes on behind the scenes. Even when there's a, quote, light of hope for fans that Bryan might return to the wrestling ring, which I will still be against of, Bryan proves I still don't give no fucks. Well, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'll just go somewhere else. I can go back to Ring of Honor. They're asking for me to come back. Hey, Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks are going to put on a show next year. They're hoping to put on a show, and they're inviting me to main event it. So yeah, Bryan can get away with whatever he says on television because WWE doesn't want to let him go. Unless they found a way to get rid of him without actually firing him. So yeah, Bryan, the king of not giving a fuck anymore. Okay, that's the most interesting character Bryan had. But when he talked about how Sami and Owens were destroying what he believed was the Yes Movement, no. No. The fan, not Owens and Zayn didn't destroy what you believe was what the Yes Movement stood for. No, the fans of the Yes Movement destroyed what the Yes Movement stood for in 2015 because they were trying to make you basically a John Cena clone, where you would win all the matches, get all the opportunities and whatnot. Even though you had just come back from neck surgery and they wanted you to fight Brock Lesnar, who will use German suplexes on you over and over and over and over until you get paralyzed because WWE has an injury fetish. So, and they put you in the ladder match and still they're trying to get you killed somehow. Because injury fetishes, even if you come back from surgery, will exploit the hell out of that on the guise of getting heat for heels. I have no response. So, yeah. Orange Shinsuke Nakamura. They kept saying this is the first time ever partnership. Even though it really isn't. They teamed up like several times last month. So they can't get away with that. And seriously, Vince thinks we're that stupid that we would forget something from a month ago. So, yeah. So, honestly, considering Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn seemingly, according to reports, but now there's been reports disputing that they may want to get out of WWE, especially after what happened with Neville, their buddy, the Jimmy Jacobs over a Bullet Club photo, and I've ranted about that enough as it is. And also the Neville walkout. Also, by the way, the negotiations with Neville, they've halted now. Yeah. So, I won't be surprised if Owens and Zayn do lose this match and get fired. Though, the other problem I have with the storyline logic is, Shane McMahon, I don't think he can make that authority. If he was running both Raw and SmackDown, he probably could have that authority. But considering he doesn't, he should not unless he talked to his father and talked to Triple H, who Triple H doesn't like, so he had to have talked to Vince. So, yeah, I don't think and considering that Vince aired their dirty laundry with the whole Vince may have abused them when they were children, in storyline I must stress, not in real life, I don't think they would do that. I don't think Shane would want to talk to his dad even after Kevin Owens beat the holy hell out of him, which I still believe is justified under the guys like Owens and all the NXT were being screwed by his authority of corruption and discriminatory attitude. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Orton and Nakamura, they're basically being portrayed as hitmen for Shane. Oh, man. So, yeah, this main event actually has a little bit of unpredictability, though at the same time, I get the feeling Bryan might cost Orton and Nakamura and gives Owens and Sami Zayn the win. And everyone's been speculating that this might lead to the return of Bryan in the ring. Yeah, I'm still against that for a variety of reasons. Concussions, brain lesion, numerous traumas with the head. The last time what happened when a wrestler was allowed to still wrestle even with numerous concussion histories that ended very, very, very freaking badly. And I will not mention it whatsoever. Let's just say he's the Baltimore of wrestling now. He who must not be named. I'm still against having history repeat itself. So, yeah, I don't think Bryan should return to the ring if his life is at stake here. So, yeah. Someone said that they hope he takes a bump. I would be against it. And even if the doctors cleared him, those concussion, psychological trauma does not just magically go away. That kind of injuries do not just go away. It builds up and up and up, and if he keeps getting hit in the head, we're going to have another you-know-what on your hands. Since they're clear, since now people don't want to take precautions now after what happened last time. So, yeah, me and probably so many others, like, I talked about this in the podcast with Alexander the Great on Twitter. He agreed with me about Bryan not returning to the ring just for the sake of his health and the future and his family's sake. Especially since we kept referencing you know who must not be named. So, yeah, just Bryan, don't do it. Don't come back to the ring. You can turn heel. I don't care about that part. Just do not do this because it's become a drug addiction for you. I get it. You love wrestling, but it's kind of becoming a drug. You're kind of becoming addicted to it to such a dangerous level that you just can't stop yourself. So, yeah. Clash of Champions is this Sunday, and you will be seeing 2 videos within 48 hours on Saturday, on Sunday, and Monday. You will be or probably Saturday, and probably late Sunday, and probably early into Monday, where you will see me talk about The Last Jedi movie, which I will be seeing on Saturday because I have work on Friday. Curses. And I will also be talking about WWE Clash of Champions, which will be uploaded, edited afterwards after I made the recording, after the pay-per-view, and sometime in the night after the show, which will most likely be on a early Monday morning. So, yeah. So, and plus I need to go to bed and wait for the video to be finished processing after I render it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend for me. Last Jedi, awesome. Clash of Champions, hopefully will be awesome. So, yeah, and also I've been contemplating doing the year-end thoughts videos regarding the wrestlers who I believe had who need to be talked about regarding the 2017. Still debating between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt for 2 very different reasons. So, yeah, those were my thoughts on WWE Clash of Champions. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.